Before I start, I want to tell you all that this is a three-part video. This is the first part, and I will have the spreadsheet that will be discussed in all three parts available during the third video. So let's get started. I recently took a course online called Emergency Preparedness 101. And part of that course was making your own personal emergency preparedness plan. Big part of that plan was doing a threat analysis. And a threat analysis helps you identify the threats that are most likely to occur so you can prepare for those first. Now, on Doomsday Prepper and shows like that, they always ask, what are you preparing for? And the people answer, big catastrophic events like total economic collapse, an EMP, a super volcano, a pandemic, anyway, various very large catastrophic events. Well, I'm going to tell you that I think you need to start with a microcosm first. Your personal threats are the most likely to occur. Let me show you what I mean. I have adapted a threat analysis tool that I found on survivalmom.com, and I'll put a link right here to that site. And it breaks it into four categories. Personal, which is what happens to you, your home, your immediate family. Local, which is your neighborhood and your city and your county. Regional, which can be state or multi-state. And then national or global. Now, I believe that the personal events are the most likely to happen. Let me show you why.
Chances are, sometime in your life, you'll be in a car accident and or injure yourself at work or at home. You could slip on the ice, get hit crossing the street, or burn yourself with boiling water while making pasta for dinner. Death of a loved one, as well as your own demise, is inevitable. Now, we all know divorces are very commonplace in today's society. Unfortunately, bankruptcies also are very common. In the U.S., half of all adults suffer from at least one chronic disease, such as diabetes, heart disease, or cancer. Approximately 7% of adult Americans have had their identity stolen or misused. An unexpected job loss can be devastating, both emotionally and financially. 2,000 children are reported missing each day, and adults can also be abducted. According to a survey listed on the CDC website, in the U.S., nearly 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 men reported having experienced rape sometime in their lifetime. I have used Survival Mom's chart and calculated the onset, likelihood of occurrence, and personal severity of impact for each of these personal events. The onset of a threat is how fast it occurs. For instance, an accident occurs with no notice, while health problems usually have a slower onset. Likelihood is calculated how likely you believe an event could happen to you. You may have to research an event's statistics to determine the score. I then figured my personal impact score by multiplying the likelihood by the severity. Your personal threat impact score will probably differ from mine.
Notice that my highest score, 50 points, was for fire, water, or other damage to my home. And I scored this because it's happened to us multiple times. We had a huge house fire. We were out of the house for 9 months. It did extensive damage. In that same house, the pipes once burst in the basement and caused a lot of damage. In our current house, our sump pump once failed and it destroyed the wood floor in the basement and other things. At our last house, we had a microburst which took a huge oak tree up into the air and then threw it against the house and the pool. Again, caused a lot of damage. These things just seem to happen to me. So I guess we are an insurance agent's worst nightmare. You'll also notice, though, that divorce was my lowest score. And the reason for that is my husband and I have been married for 38 years in November. And we were raised that you stay together in good times and bad, And luckily for us, most of them were good times. So I really am not that worried about divorce. So how do we prepare for these personal threats that might happen? I've expanded the chart to include prevention and mitigation. Let's look at each one by one.
Definitely, auto and homeowners insurance is a good idea if an accident occurs. You may also want to consider disability insurance. First aid supplies, either in your home, auto, or workplace, might also be beneficial. I've included cards here from my videos on home first aid kits and the one I keep in my auto. Death. The average funeral costs are $9,000. Your finances might also be affected because of loss of income. Life insurance would help alleviate the financial impact. Having a will and an advance medical directive are also important preps. I've included a card here from my video on the importance of a medical directive. Divorce. This will definitely affect your finances. Divorce may be preventable. Regular talking and listening between spouses might prevent the dissolution of their marriage. Some preppers, especially newbies, become consumed by prepping and the fears of not being ready. They obsess on prepping and don't work on their marriage. They end up distancing themselves from their spouse. Financial trouble. Credit cards are often the gateway to a financial disaster. Learn how to budget and become more cash-based, and you will be more prepared. Health problems. Adapting a healthy lifestyle and maintaining dental health is important. However, many diseases such as MS or arthritis can develop no matter how diligent you are. Medical insurance helps mitigate the financial aspects. Home security problems. Good home insurance with replacement value can help mitigate the financial impact of a robbery or a home invasion. A good alarm system and firearms may help prevent such an occurrence. Receiving notices from crimereports.com can inform you if there are robberies or car thefts in your neighborhood. House fire, water, other damage. Homeowners insurance with replacement coverage is key. Check over your policy and see what is covered. Never wait until something happens. Always have working fire alarms and fire extinguishers available. Practice fire drills with family members to be prepared. As for supplies, having a wet-dry vac may help with water damage, and tarps come in handy from tree or roof collapse due to heavy snow. Identity theft. Identity theft can have long-lasting, disastrous effects on your finances. Having robust passwords, changing passwords regularly, shredding bills and personal documents, and closely monitoring your checking and savings accounts can help. There is also insurance which can help if this ever happens to you. Job loss. Chances are you or an immediate family member will lose his or her job at least once in your lifetime. Often the writing is on the wall, and switching jobs before you lose your job is a good idea. Having a well-stocked pantry and a financial parachute can also be very helpful. Kidnapping. This is a parent's nightmare. Educate your children on what to do may help. Adults can also be kidnapped. My husband used to have to travel to Juarez, Mexico on business. Adult kidnapping is a way of life there. So situational awareness is also very important. Sexual assault, bodily damage. Situational awareness, carrying protection such as gun, pepper spray, and knowing how to use them, and martial arts can help. Preventive education is also important with young children. Be sure to check the Sex Offenders Registry regularly to see if you have any possible predators in your neighborhood. As you can see, we have columns for bug-out bag and supplies, water, first aid, other, heat and energy source, communication, security, and sanitation hygiene.
You might notice that bug-out bags and other supply categories aren't really used much for personal threats. Instead, what is needed is an emergency fund for 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. It's really, really important. And what I find is a lot of newbie preppers go out and buy very expensive AR rifles and other what I call sexy prepping supplies, instead of working on their own credit card debt or working on becoming as debt-free as possible. And of course, becoming debt-free does not happen overnight, but it should be something you conscientiously work on. The other thing you'll notice is that to mitigate the financial risk of many of these personal threats, insurances come in handy, be it medical insurance, homeowners insurance, or auto insurance, all very important. But you should read over your policies and make sure you're really covered for what you think you are covered. Well, this is the end of part 1. I hope you have found it valuable. I would love to know if you have anything to add to the personal threats or any protection items or mitigation items. I can work on this spreadsheet until the 3rd video, and then I will upload it for all of you. I cannot believe this. While I am making this video in the house, I come outside and look at that. This is a wild cherry tree that just fell across our driveway. It's on top of our outbuilding, and we just had a new roof put on the outbuilding last year and brand new gutters. Luckily, it looks like the roof is going to be okay. Keeping my fingers crossed. There is a dent in the gutters. Hopefully that can be repaired. No way can I turn this into my insurance because we had a huge limb of a willow tree down by the creek fall and smash our platform deck down there just into smithereens last year. So in both cases, they looked healthy. This wild cherry tree looks very healthy, and the willow did too. Well, it is. It just lost a limb. We always try to remove dead trees because we know the damage that can occur. Anyway, I hope you can see the humor in this. I am Irish, and what most people don't know, they always talk about the luck of the Irish, but the truth is, it's bad luck. Go figure. So this is Prepper Potpourri saying, please subscribe and share the knowledge. Thumbs up if you like this video. Thank you so much.